know that some of you are a little upset by that video online of me stopping the terrorists. And I just want you to know that I understand. I'm upset too. I mean, come on, guys. Nobody wants innocent people to get hurt. Of course not. But sadly, well, the bad guys, they don't think like us.
Hey, howdy, hey, awesome people of the internet, Wolfman407 Dash here. This is probably going to be the last vlog I'll be doing, based on my parents. Although apart from the Hollow Knife vlogs, which I'm hopefully will have done back in my flat, but yeah. So as we know, the Prime Video's got two big superhero shows, both of which have nothing to do with DC and Marvel, and are basically just trying to poke fun at DC and Marvel and trying to be a bit more violent, more mature, and just doing things that DC and Marvel would dare not to do, such as being very violent, have a lot of nudity, and all sorts of other things. And they basically explore the different ideologies and so forth. And what I find interesting about both these shows is that while they are both on Prime Video and very similar to one another, they're also produced by Seth Rogen's company, Point Grey Studios, I think it's called. And obviously, and before I go on, I should say the shows I'm talking about are The Boys and Invincible. The Boys being a bit more cynical and violent, and Invincible being a bit more traditional but still very violent. And the big question that a lot of people have had is a crossover imminent? Personally, I think a crossover would be interesting to see because, as I say, both of these shows are on Prime Video. They're both produced by Seth Rogen's production company. They both follow a very similar sort of scenario and setting, although one is more about the sort of politics behind superheroes doing these things, and then the other one is about superheroes just trying to be accepted into society while at the same time basing themselves for a big major invasion by these people that think they are gods and can take over any and all worlds across the universe, but then they have vulnerabilities and everything. So yeah. Obviously both shows have a different style. So obviously Invincible's animated and The Boys is live action. So for a crossover to work, obviously, for it to be all live action, the cast of Invincible will have to be very, very fit, and so forth. Whereas if it's animated, it doesn't really matter because animation is probably better in that sense anyway. And The Boys have had animated stuff before. Like I know there's been an anthology series that's been animated, so I could see that working. But how the crossover would go about, well, there's a lot of ideas. Like Omni-Man could get involved in the downfall of Vault, or some other crossover. But it would be interesting to see a crossover nonetheless. And one thing I do know about is that characters from both The Boys and Invincible have appeared in games as DLC characters, specifically the Mortal Kombat games. I know Omni-Man has made an appearance, and I know whatever the guy's name from The Boys is. Yeah, yeah, they've both made appearances in those games. But I do see it working. I don't know when we'll get it, but hopefully we will get it at some point. It's definitely something that's worth thinking about and talking about for sure. Because of how similar both shows are, albeit one's more cynical and violent and the other's more traditional but still very violent. One's live action, one's animated, and both kind of set the tone of each of their shows with the very first episode. Like it's not often that a superhero show can get away by literally violently killing all the superheroes from a superhero team in the very first episode. In the case of Invincible, so yeah. But yeah, I do see it working. I don't know when we'll get it, and I know it's been in the works for a while, and I know the creator of Invincible, Robert Kirkman, who also created Walking Dead, has acknowledged the possibility of a crossover. And obviously fans are doing fan made content about exploring different ideas of how the crossover could work. The crossover, in terms of if it would do well to be part of the main stories of both shows, I don't know. I mean, it could work as maybe like an episode that doesn't really move anything forward like most crossovers do. It's kind of like they don't really do anything to move the shows any more forward. They just exist for the fans to just give us a big adventure or anything before the show continues on or reaches its conclusion. In the case of the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy and Codenames Next Door, which had a crossover made, but then following that they both conclude their respective shows then concluded shortly afterwards. So yeah, so yeah, kind of like a one last hurrah before the grand finale. But it'd be interesting to see a crossover for sure. So yeah. But that's what I think about the idea of The Boys and Invincible having a crossover. If you think it should happen or shouldn't happen, or have doubts or whatever, do say so in the comments, because I'd love to hear what you think about this idea. But other than that, thanks so much for watching. Like, share, comment, and subscribe if you can, please. And those of you new to my channel, I do gameplay videos, let's play videos, vlogs like this, talking about all sorts of different things. Occasional shorts as well, and that's what I do, and other stuff too. See you in the next one. Peace to you all, and always remember to, if you really want a crossover to happen, give the studios pressure to make that happen, because if they know there's pressure to make a crossover happen, they will definitely do it and get around to it eventually, or not. And as I say, hopefully this will be the last main vlog where I'm being my parents, but we'll see how things go. So yeah, alright. Doodles.
Are you sure?